What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Steels Forever, and I'm back in the building. And as you can tell, I got the quality of my videos is a lot better. The sound quality is a lot better, and that's because I pulled out the old trusty HD Canon PowerShot, and it was just me being lazy because it was a lot more convenient for me to actually just record with my webcam. So that's what I was doing. But I was like, hey, people stop by, like, and comments on my videos, so I was like, man, that's the least I can do, is pull out the HD camera and give these guys some higher quality videos, and that's what we're gonna do. The reason why I'm doing this video is because there's been a topic floating around probably for about like the last month of used video games, and I just want to speak on that. The 720 will not be playing used games. That's what the rumor is. Let me just clear this up for you guys. If, in fact, Microsoft Xbox 720 does not play used games, then don't worry, because the Nintendo Wii U will not play them either, and the Sony PS4 will not play used games either. There's no way for Microsoft as one company, one entity, to come in and say, out of all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of games that sell, that our console is not going to conform to having used games on them. I mean, think about it. The Wii U the Wii U itself is already an upgrade, and developers are already saying that a lot of the games right now that are not on the Wii are going to be on the Wii U. So it's a possibility, like at least by next year sometimes, that anytime you see an Assassin's Creed is going to be on Wii U, or Grand Theft is going to be on the Wii U, Call of Duty is going to be on the Wii U from now on, and not just some remake of it. They're basically the identical version that we play on the Xbox 360 right now and the PS3. So with us knowing that about the Wii U, and plus we know that the PS4 is going to be a great console because Sony always does a great job with their hardware. They're going to have a great console too, that's basically going to have, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4, 5, or God of War, whatever. But so how can Microsoft say, hey, we're not going to have used games, but these two companies can? So the consumer is just going to say, well, you know what? Screw you, Microsoft. Basically, we're just going to buy the PS4 and the Wii. Because most households will invest into two consoles. Even right now, I have two consoles, And I almost always have had two consoles through my whole entire time of gaming. Like, I always had Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. They went from Super Nintendo to Sega Saturn. It just creates diversity. You know what I'm saying? You can play like a different games that you wouldn't get on one console. But that's either here or there. But what I'm pointing out is that most households can grab, actually want two different systems. So they'll just pick up the Wii U and the Sony PS4. So there's no way that Microsoft can do that. If, like I said, if they do it, it'll be all across the board. And if it does happen with the Wii U, the PS4, and the Xbox 720, if they call it that, it's just going to be a gaming crash. Because a lot of people see, I work at a game store, and I understand that at least 75 to 85% of all the customers that actually come in the game store buy used games. And just not really the newer games. Because you got to think about it. Like, most times if somebody buys like a game like Skyrim or Assassin's Creed, a new Assassin's Creed, a new Batman, like, it takes them really realistically maybe like a month or two to really even want to trade the game in if they like it. So you may have a couple copies floating around that somebody buys it and don't like it and turn it back, but those copies are very minimum compared to 3 or 4 months down the line of the games coming out. So most of the games that people tendally buy are older titles anyway. They're just out of print or very hard to find anyway. So if they do, cut out used games, it's just gonna crash the market like it did back in 1980 something when Atari, had the big crash. You know what I'm saying, in the 80s. It's just gonna be a crash. It's gonna kill the game market because it's just gonna kill it because there are a bunch of young kids, teenagers that really can't afford a certain level of paying $60 a week or $60 every 2 or 3 weeks to buy a new game. And they buy older games or used games, and then when the newer games drop down and go on sale, they buy them. So I mean, you know, it is what it is because most times the used games are not really. If you can afford, like, if you can afford a used game that's $5 or $6 cheaper, then come on. I mean, it's just not like that, man. Like I said, please believe that you will not see that. That's not even nothing to worry about. It makes for good conversation. It makes for good entertainment. But please believe there will be used games next generation. There may not be any used games on the PC, but there will be used games on the next 720. There will be used games on the Wii U, and there will be used games on the PS4. It's your boy Steels. Like as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. It's your boy Steels. Later.